Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Schultzy, and I am back with some more XCOM. Yay, I've returned, yes. I was always going to do my series that I like and enjoyed and hopping around, so I'm sorry if there's been a large delay. And without further ado, how the enemy sectoid commander. I would argue this is the third most dangerous creature, more or less due to the fact that it's not the fact that it's physically intimidating. No psychological thing like, oh my goodness, these guys are strong, that they can blow you away. By the time you start engaging these guys, you're going to be probably pretty high up in level. But why does this make my pretty much top tier enemy that you must be extremely careful and is extremely dangerous? Because of the fact that it can take control of your troops and really mess you up on the battlefield. And this is not like one of these, okay, that means literally they can control you and it can easily decimate your whole entire squad. I mean, entirely. And they can also do the previous things like the other sectoids could, but their biggest fear about them is they can do psychic damage, just controlling your units, and that is their major problem. That is why they're so dangerous. And that is honestly, I have to say, the only reason why that they do warrant number 3. And you know what? Taking care of these guys is no different than needing to eliminate any other sectoid on the field or any other unit. Just superior firepower. Now, by the time you come up against them, you might be having advanced technology like ghost armor or something like that. And you know what? That can change the shape of the battlefield in your favor. And you know what? By the time, and honestly, it's very hard to fight these guys with rookies. And honestly, the likelihood of you fighting these guys with rookies are very low. But even if so, always stick out your men with as best weapons possible. Engage them. Now, honestly, I found that you can either snipe them at a distance. A biggest advantage you can use is take use of ghost armor. Ghost armor is very, very potent if used right. These are the guys that you set up. These are the guys that you can use to move in first. They're usually better designed to have assault troopers, mainly because you want to surprise the enemy and get critical damage. But I mean, going up back to the enemy sectoids, extreme firepower, extreme force, ambushing. Same tactic with every guy you're going to say. Same thing. That's the biggest thing with these guys. Make sure you deal with that. Now, honestly, you probably, by the time you find them, you probably won't have met an ethereal yet and kill it to get the ability to use the little shield that decreases the likelihood of the enemy possessing your units. And honestly, by the time you meet the first ethereal, that's going to be doing that. That's later on the road, and I'm having trouble with my tips and tricks on the ethereal, mainly because they are so dangerous and scary. Now, going back to the sectoid commander, when you finally see them, all it is the fact that you'll start once you go to the first base to attack of the aliens, and you see that it can possess you. You want to make sure you can take it captive, because I believe if you take it captive, that you can then use it to research the ability to have psychic units. Getting him is the first step of making your units so much more powerful than ever. And I'm not kidding that when you have the ability to have psychic troops with you, they can easily turn the tide of the battlefield so much easier. And it's not like it's not like, oh, they can turn the battlefield. This is something that would be akin to pretty much just a juggernaut on the battlefield, because it makes your units even more flexible. This simple enemy commander, sectoid commander, that can do serious harm to rookie units, and if you're unprepared, you capture him alive. You pretty much dissect him and use all your available technology to research anything out of him, and getting the ability to test psychic units will make you more dangerous than ever. That is why the sectoid, honestly, maybe the number one thing to capture, mainly because it makes your units, as soon as you get that, it makes your units have the ability to do so much more for you. Because once you capture them, psychic powers do so much more. And honestly, some of them are basic ones, but as a whole, you'll just see just the psychic powers of these enemies. They can devastate other characters. You can literally mind fray them. And that's why the sectoid is such an important character to deal with, because honestly, I never would have thought that that this little thing, even though how dangerous, because honestly he can devastate a whole unit and it is just as random as possible. But as a whole, you have nothing to worry about, because when you deal with them, you will be ripping the enemy apart. That's why it's just like any sectoid. Extreme firepower, getting close. They're a little less powerful. They have that pistol still. Excuse me. They have the pistol still, so that is what makes them not as powerful. That is their major downside. That is what makes them so weak, is the fact that they only use a plasma pistol. So pretty much by the time you start facing them, you're going to probably have fully decked out units, and you won't have to worry whatsoever about the weapons. You can actually shrug off a round or two if you want to feel gutsy or not. You can get in close and do serious damage to these enemies. And that's the biggest thing, is that by the time you run into these characters, you're going to be pretty much pulling off stuff like this Titan armor on guys. And that's why they may be the third most dangerous unit, but by the time you deal with them, they're just a little more powerful version of a sectoid. But their importance on the battlefield can still do serious damage if you're underprepared. If you start getting cocky and not have a good build that can deal with these sectoid commanders, it will be akin. They will go after your most powerful unit and devastate your whole army or squad. I say army, but your whole squad will be devastated, because they can really get in close to you. And I'm not talking about, I mean, literally, they can possess someone once. If they have line of sight on them, they can possess them. And if you have a person in the best spot for you, they can easily rain death on you. And that's why it is nothing more than it's not their statue that makes them dangerous, but their powers. And that power of possession can do so much more damage. But once you have them on your side, take them captive and study them, they turn into a huge asset for you. It makes them 10 times more dangerous and damaging. I hope this has helped. I hope that you enjoy this. I hope this has helped. I'll leave you off with this devastating ethereal that you must be worrying about. The more information I'll get on them, I'll hopefully be able to give you more tips and tricks on that. And thank you guys for listening. I hope this has helped. Please tell me what you think. I'm going to be doing more series, more games, different games and whatnot. But I hope this helps, and I'd like to say, everyone, thank you, and good night.